This factory once changed the lives of thousands, but now it was silent, abandoned, and forgotten. That is, until Donald Trump received an unexpected letter from an old friend. What secret was hidden in this abandoned building? And why was Trump called here? When he found out the truth, he had to make a life-changing decision. It was a gloomy autumn morning. Thick gray clouds loomed over the city, casting long shadows over cracked sidewalks and empty streets. Donald Trump stood in front of a massive, rusting factory that had once been the beating heart of the local economy. Now, it was nothing more than a ghost of its former self. The tall, broken windows reflected the dull light of the morning, and vines crept up its brick walls as if trying to reclaim what man had abandoned. Trump held a worn, yellowed letter in his hands and read the words again, his expression unreadable. The letter was from Henry Calloway, an old friend and former business partner. Henry had once been a giant in the manufacturing industry, running this very factory with pride and purpose. But after a devastating financial collapse, the business crumbled. Workers were let go, machines silenced, and soon, the once thriving factory became nothing but an empty shell. The city was now planning to demolish it, erasing its history forever. But Henry wasn't ready to give up, and he had turned to Trump, the one man who might be able to change everything. Trump pushed open the heavy, rusted doors, the sound of creaking metal echoing through the cavernous space. Dust floated in the air like forgotten memories. The scent of oil and decay mixed together, remnants of a past that had long since faded. He stepped carefully over broken wooden pallets and tangled wires, his sharp eyes scanning the abandoned space. Then he saw him. Henry Calloway stood near an old assembly line, his shoulders hunched, his once powerful frame now worn by time. His gray hair was unkempt, and his clothes hung loosely on his body, as if he had lost more than just his fortune. But in his eyes, there was something that hadn't changed: determination. "Donald, I can't believe you came," Henry said, his voice hoarse but steady. Trump approached and grasped Henry's frail hand in a firm shake. "You asked for my help, Henry. Tell me what's going on." Henry sighed deeply, looking around the vast, empty space. This factory, it was everything to this town. Hundreds of families depended on it. We built something strong, something that mattered. But when we fell, they fell too. And now the city wants to tear it all down, turn it into a shopping mall or some useless parking lot. I can't let that happen, Donald. These people, they still need this place, but I can't do it alone. Trump took another slow look around. The decay was real, but so was the potential. The bones of the factory were still strong, and with the right investment, it could rise again. He turned back to Henry, his expression firm. "Give me a few days. We'll fix this." Trump wasted no time. He called in his team: engineers, architects, and business strategists. The first order of business was evaluating the structural integrity of the building. As they moved through the old hallways, they discovered rooms filled with untouched blueprints, old prototypes, and even some machines that, with a little work, could still run. Excitement began to replace the sense of despair that had settled over the place for years. Meanwhile, Trump reached out to the workers who had once dedicated their lives to this factory. Some had moved on to different jobs, while others had struggled to find stable work. When they heard that the factory might be coming back, they arrived in droves, eager to be part of the rebirth. Among them was Lisa Martinez, a former supervisor who had worked there for over 20 years. "I never thought I'd see this place alive again," she said, running a hand over an old conveyor belt. "But if Trump says he can do it, I believe him." Using his extensive network, Trump reached out to investors, pitching them a vision not just of a restored factory, but of a revitalized community. This wouldn't just be a business, it would be a beacon of hope. Word spread quickly, and former workers started showing up, eager to help in any way they could. Some had spent decades here, and the thought of seeing the factory alive again filled them with renewed energy. As weeks turned into months, the transformation was incredible. Rusted machinery was repaired, fresh coats of paint brightened the walls, and new safety measures were put into place. Skilled workers trained younger apprentices, passing down knowledge that had almost been lost. The local economy, once on the brink of collapse, began to stir with hope. Then, the grand reopening day arrived. The city had gathered, murmurs of curiosity and hope filling the crisp morning air. Henry stood beside Trump, his eyes glistening with emotion. As Trump stepped up to the microphone, he looked out over the sea of faces, some familiar, some new, but all eager for a fresh start. "This factory is more than just a building," Trump began, his voice strong. "It's a symbol of hard work, of resilience, of the American spirit. When it shut down, dreams were put on hold, families struggled, and hope faded. But today, we are changing that. Today, we are bringing those dreams back." Henry reminded me that this place isn't just metal and concrete, it's a source of life. And today, we give it new life. The crowd erupted into cheers. As the ribbon was cut, workers stepped inside, greeted by gleaming new equipment and a factory humming with energy. It wasn't just a reopening, it was a rebirth. And for Henry, for the town, and for everyone who had fought for this moment, it was proof that even in the darkest times, hope could be restored. That day, Trump didn't just save a factory, he saved a community. And what was once forgotten became the pride of the city once again.